Do I need to repeat that? You think so? I was just told. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy to see you, especially those who are here live so we can see beautiful faces. And we welcome those who are either watching us on YouTube or Zoom. Thank you for joining us. Okay. I might make mistakes today, and if I do, I hope I'm not corrected too meanly. All right. I need to read something out loud. I would like to remind the board, the cabinet, presenters, and speakers to slow down when speaking, to project your voice, to speak directly into the microphone, and if you need to adjust it, we can do that, especially for it's Elias, isn't it? Especially for you, Elias. Mute your microphone when you are not speaking, and we ask that we do not speak over one another. Are there any public comments from the audience on agenda or non-agenda items? No public comments. Thank you. Therefore, we're going to skip the board bylaw since it's not necessary to be read out. Superintendent Castro?
At this time, President Coronado, we will move into closed session.
Okay, we'll move into closed session at 5:05. When we go in there, and I'll read this out again afterward, we are going in there for the purposes of negotiations and related matters, Governance Code 54957.6, Personnel Matters, Governance Code 54957.1, and Anticipated Litigation, Governance Code 54956.9. Make yourselves comfortable as best you can. Anyone need a water? There's some back there. All right. You can talk amongst yourselves, talk to your elbow partner. Come up with a good joke for me when I come back so I'll be in a better mood. The regular meeting of the Lawndale Elementary School District will come back to order at 5:25. We adjourned from a closed session at 5:21. And we met for the purposes of negotiations and related matters, Governance Code 54957.6, Personnel Matters, Governance Code 54957.1, anticipated litigation 54956.9. And in closed session, the board voted 4-0 to accept our settlement, final settlement, and I don't have the number at my hand. I take Nariva, but let's slow down a little bit, okay? The final settlement number is C 76773. Thank you, Dr. Cooper. Okay. Superintendent Castro.
Thank you, President Coronado. At this time, I would like to invite a very special student from Billy Mitchell Elementary School. This is Elias Martinez, who is a fifth grade student, and he's accompanied by his principal and assistant principal, Dr. Dalia Coronel, and Mrs. Marisol Perez. So Elias, would you like to come up to the podium with your principal, please?
Good evening, President Coronado, esteemed trustees, Superintendent Castro, and cabinet members. It is an honor to be here tonight. I am Dalia Coronel, the proud principal at Billy Mitchell Elementary. Tonight, I have the privilege of introducing you to one of our amazing fifth grade aviators. His name is Elias Martinez. He will share a little bit about himself and also lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, please help me to welcome Elias Martinez.
Hello, my name is Elias Martinez, and I am a fifth grader at Billy Mitchell Elementary School. Thank you for having me here today to lead the flag salute and share my experience with 21st century learning. I have been at Billy Mitchell since preschool. Some of my favorite moments at Billy Mitchell are the Fall Festival and winning the Rap Basketball Championship.
Wow.
Although I am sad to leave, I am excited for the rest of the school year and the events that are coming up, like the Spring Festival and the fifth grade promotion activities. I am grateful for all my teachers, friends, and experiences at Mitchell, and I cannot wait to continue at Jane Addams. Now, I'll lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We continue to hope and pray.
Thank you. You may please be seated.
I'm wearing jeans. And that goes back here, watch your step. I would like the board to join us, please. Please, join us. As you choose, you don't have to, I'm inviting you. We're gonna take lots of pictures today. Because we got our shirts on. So Elias, how do you want me to say? Elias, this is a present from the school board. And here is a book about the history of the American flag. And here is a certificate that we installed. So now we can take photos. And then mom can join us in the photos. And then the principal and assistant principal can join us in the photos. And just for fun, since all of Billy Mitchell will be here, I'll take a giant step forward and we'll all be in the picture. Well, this is gonna be cute. Good mom. Good mom. Thank you all for indulging the board. The photos. At this time, I would like to introduce someone who's special in the audience. You're all special. However, someone we don't get to see here very often, our newly elected council person for the Lawndale Council, Mr. Frank Talaveras. Please welcome him. It's not often that someone from the city council visits us, and we're so pleased to have you here tonight. Thank you. Well, thank you, but we know that you have an interest in education because you served on the Centinela Valley Union High School District Board, and we know that your children attended our elementary school, so thank you again for being here. I really do appreciate it. Okay. Superintendent Castro.
Next, we'll move to roll call. Members of the board, President Bonnie Coronado.
Here.
Clerk Shirley Rudolph is absent. Trustee Kathy Burris.
Here.
Trustee Ann Phillips. And Trustee Adi Morales.
Here.
All members of cabinet are present. We have 23 in-person guests, 1 via Zoom and 4 via YouTube.
Thank you. We're about to move to approval of the agenda, but before I ask for that, I'd like the board's consensus to amend the agenda and move item 8.05, resolution number 22, 2024-2025 School Library Month for a vote and recognition of our library media clerks at this time. Is that all right with everyone?
Yes.
Also ask, go ahead.
I'm sorry, ma'am, can you appoint?
That was on my next.
We
motion.
we were getting there.
And my next request for consensus is that we appoint Kathy Burris as temporary clerk tonight, for tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Consensus? All right.
Good.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll second.
A motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Burris to approve the agenda as amended. Any comments, questions, discussion from the board? All right, hearing none. Please take the time to vote on your devices, please. If you need a hand vote, we can do that. Yep, nope, what? She said no. Okay, thank you. All in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries 4-0. Mr. Jewell, could I see you for a moment, please? Superintendent Castro?
Next is approval of superintendent action item 8.05, the resolution number 22, 2024-25 School Library Month.
Thank you. We are in the middle of April, and April is School Library Month. And we'd like to take the time to recognize and appreciate the invaluable role that school libraries play in shaping the minds of students and fostering the love for reading and learning. It's time to honor the dedicated unless you're all Libras, library media clerk who create welcoming spaces for students, to explore ideas, find resources, and develop critical thinking skills. Throughout this month, let's celebrate the contributions of school libraries and the ways they enrich the educational experience. Whether it's through offering access to books, technology, or a safe space for creativity, school libraries make a lasting impact on every student. And while I know it's School Library Month, I hope during the summer when the schools are not available that you do attend our local library here in Lawndale. It's a fine one, and I remember being a student at Smith and going there after school. So please, the joy of reading is a lifelong learning experience. Thank you. We have a motion. I need a motion, please, from the board to approve item 8.05, resolution 2022. I'm sorry, no, number 22, 2024, 2025, School Library Month.
I'll move.
On a motion by trustee Burris, seconded by trustee Morales. Are there any comments or questions or additions or comments from the board regarding this resolution?
No.
Therefore, would you please vote on your devices? Would you like to say something, Superintendent Castro?
No, when the board is ready, we want to acknowledge the
Right.
librarians.
Right here. Correct?
It's Henry Moak who leads them.
Okay. Miss Moab, didn't see you standing there. Okay.
I just voted, yeah.
We have to, just 1 second. All right, motion carries 4-0. Ms. Moad,
Yes. Good evening, board. I'm actually in proxy. Erin Blad Johnson was not able to attend today. She's at a conference. So I am actually going to read a little script that she wrote. So this is in honor of all of our representative of all of our library media clerks and Erin Blad Johnson. Thank you to the board of, sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Thank you to the board, cabinet, well, awkward, my supervisor, Anne Marie. And my library team, including Maria Acosta from Smith and Elizabeth Garcia from Mitchell, who are present here today. Our staff, libraries, resources, and programs support positive literacy experiences for our students. Their library visit may be the bright spot in their day, which may be more important now than ever. In our libraries, our students are not only exposed to a love of reading, Trek and STEAM offerings, and media information literacy, but they can discover particular passions and become comfortable beyond their own borders. Our libraries build curious, creative, and compassionate learners, and we're so grateful for your support. And we miss Erin because she would have been way more exuberant in delivering this than myself, but know that she wished she could have been here. And thank you so much for recognizing and honoring our team.
thank you. Graciela, 9.
Watch the wire.
Thank you. Okay, now the exciting part, right? Superintendent Castro?
Thank you, President Coronado. At this time, I would like to introduce the Billy Mitchell Elementary School team for their school spotlight. Dr. Coronel, would you like to come up and introduce your guests?
Yes, thank you once again for having us here tonight. It is an honor to be here and just to highlight the amazing things happening at Billy Mitchell. Tonight here with me, I have my assistant principal, Ms. Perez, along with our leadership team, Ms. Ileana Cruz, Ms. Amaris Lorenzini, our amazing fifth grade teacher, Ms. Kathy Mai. We also have Ms. Elizabeth Garcia, who is our librarian. We have an array of other educators here as well, Ms. Melissa Amesqua, who is our teacher in our Pathways program. And then we have an array of families, parents, and students. You can just wave, and they will have an opportunity here momentarily to come up and just share about the wonderful things that they are doing, the learning that's happening, and we're just excited to have this opportunity to be here with you tonight. So with that said, sure if I can go to the, perfect. At Billy Mitchell, we believe that every student has the potential to soar. Guided by our district drivers, we believe that every student has the potential to meet academic achievement. We know that every student who will one day become an independent adult, we want them to have those opportunities of higher learning and also that academic and socially, emotionally peace. We break barriers every day to ensure that all of our students have the opportunity to access and equity. And you'll get to hear some of these stories here tonight and the amazing work that our staff does. Our staff goes above and beyond daily. Our parents and our families and how we build community is another special aspect, and some of our families will be sharing that here tonight. We have an array of programs. We have our dual immersion program, we have our Pathways program, and high inclusion, and they'll get to share a little bit about that tonight. We have vibrant opportunities for where students demonstrate 21st century skills, and we'll have opportunities for them to share as well. These drivers are not just words. This is what we live at our site every day. And with your support, we believe that every student can be successful. With that, I do want to introduce Ileana Cruz, who is our e-alert and will demonstrate how our dual immersion program demonstrates increase in academic achievement.
Good evening, board members and cabinet. I am the proud e-alert at Billy Mitchell Elementary School. Our dual immersion program began in 2022, the academic school year 2022-2023. We began with our kindergarten class, and currently we have kinder through second grade. We have 5 dual immersion classroom teachers with 110 students. In my role, I have been able to support our teachers with vocabulary and oracy development and through our student discourse. It is my pleasure to introduce one of our dual immersion parents, Miss Stephanie Kingdon, who will share her experience as a dual immersion parent.
Greetings, board, administration, folks on Zoom. Honored to be here tonight as a member of the Billy Mitchell community. My child is a second grader, so he began.
Please bring him up. Please bring him up.
Casey? He's okay right now, but thank
Okay.
you for the invitation. So he began with the initial kindergarten class, and it's been I'm a former teacher myself, and I substituted at a school that was a similar model when I was in my 20s. And I thought, wow, this is an amazing place to be. And it was always a dream that my children, if I had kids, would be able to participate in a program like this. And sure enough, I live in Lawndale, and there's a great program. It's been wonderful to see, we're an English speaking family primarily, and it's been wonderful to see Casey's literacy grow in English and Spanish. When we came in, Casey didn't speak very much Spanish, but now, even in the first like months of kindergarten, I could tell that his receptive language was really growing, what he was understanding. And now that he's kind of halfway through second grade, there's a lot more expressive language. Our neighbors are Cuban and Guatemalan, and their families are bilingual. And so, the kids are outside playing in the driveways, and they're all just talking to each other in Spanish and English, and it's a beautiful thing. So I appreciate very much the board for that support, because truly we are helping to create global citizens who are multicultural and are people that are ready to engage in our world. So I appreciate that very much, and I'm honored to be here tonight to speak. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like now to introduce one of our second grade dual immersion students, Miss Willow Irving.
Does she need the step stool?
We want to be able to see your beautiful little face. There we go.
Hola, mi nombre es Willow Irvin. Soy una estudiante de segundo grado en el programa de doble inmersión. Hello, my name is Willow Irvin, and I am in second grade in the dual immersion program. What I like about my school is I get to cheer for our Mitchell cheer team, an activity that we have done in class that I enjoyed is learning about penguins. I created a slideshow and a diorama. To conclude, learning Spanish will help me speak with other people that speak Spanish. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
I will now introduce Ms. Perez, who will highlight how equity and access plays a part in our Pathways program as well as our high inclusion program.
Thank you, esteemed board members, cabinet. I'm Marisol Perez, and I'm the proud assistant principal and also proud parent of a student in our Pathways program. Pathways is a specialized program, a specialized day class in LESD with 7 classes at Mitchell, serving students that start in TK all the way through 5th grade. And these students need support with differentiated learning and adaptive skills. Last year, we were so excited to start our high inclusion classroom, which was introduced in order for students to be provided with access to general education settings and foster relationships, while also still providing specialized individualized support for our students. This model has allowed us to have students participate in daily inclusion opportunities, foster relationships with peers in the general education setting, and ensure that there's collaboration between our general education teachers and our Pathways teachers. Through this program, students actively take part in classroom activities throughout the day and fully embrace the aviator experience. I'm really excited to introduce 2 students that are in our Pathways program, Marissa Ramirez, who is in 4th grade, and Angel Martinez, who is in 5th grade. We'll start with Marissa.
Hello, my name is Marissa Ramirez. I'm in 4th grade practice program. In my classroom, I could go play with my friends. On Miss McDonald's class, I could enjoy ELT. On Miss Amesqua's class, I need help sometimes, and I learn and I need on She helps me learn in my way. Out, outside of school, I could do draw on my desk. Thank you for listening.
Now we'd like to introduce Angel Martinez, who is our fifth grade student in Miss Amesqua's class, who's here with us too, and he's also in Miss Mai's general inclusion classroom.
Hello, my name is Angel Martinez, and I am the fifth grade. I think school is fun. I like to miss my class because I get to use complete computers outside of school. I like to play with my pets. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Now we'd like to move into goal 3, which is improving parent and student engagement. We will have a parent, Ms. Shai Johnson, who will talk about her involvement in our successful second year of our Soaring Legacies Black History Month event. Ms. Shai Johnson.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that my Shy?
I'm also Bonnie's neighbor. We see each
You know,
other every
I
day.
kept looking at you saying, I know
Yeah.
that woman.
I yelled your name when we came in, but that was, there we go.
Thank you, Shy.
So hello,
So
everyone.
nice to see you.
Hi, nice to see everyone. So my name is Shai Johnson. I am the parent of Wynn and Willow. I'm also the treasurer of Billy Mitchell PTA. And I was just accepted into the PALS program through Department of Public Health. I'm very excited to be working with Billy Mitchell on multiple different things. This past month, we did our Black History Month program. It was called Soaring Legacies. And it was really, really wonderful. We always get a really good turnout. The kids made their own bracelets. As you can see, the cheer squad, which is made up of my daughters as well. They did specific chants and they had a little dance and everything was nice and catered. So the community feedback that we always get from this event is always really, really nice, and they always look forward to the other things that we do. So I enjoyed the support that I get from the administration at Billy Mitchell. We came from Anderson, which was equally supportive, but with Billy Mitchell being a little bit smaller, I noticed the individual attention that everybody gets, and I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
We will now have a student named Wynn Irvin who will share her experience.
I think I remember when she was born.
Hi, my name is Wynn Irvin. I'm in the 4th grade and I go to Billy Mitchell Elementary School. I enjoy rap and rise. I am currently cheer captain and my job in rap is to do the announcements. Thanks to Dr. Coronel, Miss Perez, Miss Paola, and Miss Angie for all of this.
I would like to welcome Ms. Amaris Lorenzini, who is our Makerspace lead teacher. She will talk a little bit about 21st century thinking and the skills that our students are learning in the Makerspace.
Good evening, board members and cabinet. My name is Amaris Lorenzini, and I'm the Makerspace lead teacher at Billy Mitchell. Mitchell's Makerspace was the first makerspace in the district, which led to creating a district-wide initiative. It's open to all grade levels during the school year, and students participate in activities focused on technology, robotics, engineering, and coding that align with NGSS and California computer science standards. Students are strengthening skills that support other content areas with an emphasis on 21st century learning skills, communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. I'd like to introduce Miss Mai, a 5th grade teacher at Mitchell.
Good height. Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Kathy Miss Mine. I'm one of the fifth grade teachers at Mitchell. In addition to the Makerspace, our fifth graders get the opportunity to use CS First, which is this really cool computer science curriculum that makes coding not only easy to teach, but fun for the students to learn as well. It's been an amazing time to see how my students have really immersed into 21st century learning using this program. Through CS First, they have created projects such as animations, stories, and even music videos through CS First. And I'd like to introduce my amazing student, Elias, to share his experience with both the Makerspace and CS First.
I thought I recognized the face on the screen.
Hello again. My name is Elias. At Mitchell, we get the opportunity to code through CS First and visit the Makerspace room. CS First allows me to learn how to code movement and sounds. I have created really cool things, as you can see. During Makerspace, Miss Maya and Miss Lorenzini helps us with controlling small robots like Spiros, engineering snap circuits, and other STEM activities. I want to invite you guys to come visit our Makerspace. Thank you for allowing me to share my experience with CS First and Makerspace. Now back to our amazing principal, Dr. Cornell, to conclude our presentation. Thank you.
The focus this year continues to be the collaboration through professional learning communities with our team, our amazing staff. We're meeting constantly to discuss and analyze the data that we see from our students because we know that that is driving the decisions that are being made. We are supporting our students through our curriculum, our interventions, and then also opportunities for enrichment. We have a very strong committed committee in our MTSS, which is our multi-tier systems of support. We want to make sure that we are providing every opportunity for our students to be successful. This school year, we also want to invite you to all the amazing things that we're going to be having coming our way. We have our Spring Festival that will be taking place in May. We have other opportunities to invite families to engage and enroll in our Do Immersion program. So with the support of Dr. Pumilia, who's been instrumental to our team, we hope to get families to come and visit our campus and just to see the amazing things that are happening in our classroom. It is a true blessing to be part of this team. This is a team effort. Everyone that was here was so excited to be here. Our students have been practicing and rehearsing and just excited to have this opportunity to spotlight the great things that we are doing. So I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for hearing us and just giving us this space today. Thank you. We have any questions for the team? Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Thank you. No questions, just some comments. It looks like the dual immersion is working very well. From the young lady that came and spoke in Spanish, it was very clear and it was amazing to hear that. Also to hear that from parents, you know, like how the programs work and it's working very well. Says a lot about, you know, the quality of the program that we have in our district. And, you know, the pathways, high inclusions, thank you, teacher. You're amazing. You know, that just being in general ed, you know, it's a hard work. The way that your job is probably three times harder. So we want to thank you for that. Thank you for including parents and everything that happens in your school. You know, like they mentioned Black History Month, I think it's very well. It's important that, you know, that the parents are involved, but also that the kids know and understand, you know, who we are as a whole, as a community. And I think that's very important. And thank you for all the great job you're doing at Billy Mitchell.
Thank you. It is a team effort, like I said. We want to make sure that we are including our students, parents, families, our staff members. Yes.
Trustee Phillips? Thank you. I really miss going out to the schools and visiting and going in the classes. I'll put that right out there. But this presentation really warmed my heart. And I do appreciate the parents who came tonight, the teachers who came tonight. but especially the children. Your speeches were wonderful. You articulated your words. Elias? Honey, you're going to be a great politician someday. Your mannerism up there is second to none. You all did a really wonderful job. And to the ladies, they're both your daughters? Oh, wonderful presentations. You all spoke so eloquently. And you, like I said, you warmed my heart. Thank you.
Trustee Burris?
Yeah, again, nothing but high praises for Billy Mitchell. It's just, it's like Trustee Phillips said, I love seeing the kids come in and talk to us and tell us what they love about their schools. And to hear the speeches and you guys are just fabulous. Elias, you are gonna be somebody someday. Don't forget us. And actually what was her name? Willow. I love your speech was absolutely wonderful, and your other daughter. Every child that got up and spoke actually was just fantastic and phenomenal. And it's so heartwarming to hear the parents actually come in and, give us high praises. And I'm so happy that we were able to get the dual immersion on that side of town too, because we still have it at Mark Twain, but it was so important to spread that out and get more kids and students involved in that. So I'm really happy to hear that that's working. Your Pathways program, fabulous. Keep up the good work, because first of all, I don't know how teachers do it anyway, but you guys are just amazing. And I love hearing from all of you. And just like Ann said, it just warms our heart to have these students come in and speak with us and show us what you're doing and be so proud. I love that you're so proud of your schools. Good. Thank you.
Well, as a teacher, and I think Trustee Morales will attest to this, a school district and a school can have all the curriculum in the world. They can have programs on the computers, they can have books, but if it's not the staff and the teachers, and I'm talking about certificated and classified as well, and administrators, if they don't find other ways to present the material other than, here's the computer, get on, here's a book, read it, it doesn't work. We have seen here tonight that the dedication and the enthusiasm that creates students to want to be inspired to learn more. So I can't say much more than that, other than I would like all of our student speakers and their parents to join us in the well, please, for some photos, because I know not everyone brought their camera tonight. All right, now everyone else please join us. No, you say you were staying here? The photo that we're gonna show everything. You can back up a little bit.
Maybe get more people in to back up a little bit. I want to photo bomb the picture.
this okay back here? Okay. Okay, one, two, three. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, at this time, I know that Superintendent Castro would like to tell all of you can go. So please.
Billy Mitchell, thank you so much for your amazing presentation and all the support. We are so proud of everything you're doing, and we love having you here. But we know that you need to prepare for tomorrow, so you are dismissed. Thank you so much. Thank you, aviators.
Anyone need a break?
You soar, aviators.
Good evening.
Oh. Superintendent Castro?
At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Julie Kane, who will be sharing on the English Language Development Instructional Materials Adoption. Dr. Kane?
Took me by surprise. I thought I'd be following second interim. Excited to go first. Good evening, everyone. I come to you today to share with you an update on where we are in the 24-25 adoption process for our middle school English language development program. We are following very closely the guidance for local instructional materials and the adoption toolkit that the CDE puts out. And if we can advance the slide one. Oh, am I in charge? Oh, sorry. It's on. Aiming at you. Doesn't want to. Oh, no, I jumped. There you go. Are you doing it or am I doing it? I'm doing it. Okay, thank you. So our process, as I said, we've been utilizing these two tools that the CDE puts out with the help of all of the English language development middle school teachers in our district. We have met multiple times. You see all of the dates there on the calendar to examine both the curriculum we have been using and going through the process of looking at additional other programs for our adoption. The reason that we are in this process is our current English Escalate is no longer supported by the publisher. So all of the online tools are gone. This is a program that was written prior to 2016. It's not aligned with the LPAC. It was time for a change, but it was actually an excellent process to use the tools in this toolkit and go through and remind ourselves of the ELD standards and how the program we currently use supports them or doesn't, and what we are looking for in our next program. So we looked at 3 different programs. ILIT for English learners, the Bridges program from Vista, and English 3D from Kate Kinsella. We went through all of them using the tools in the program, and the teachers overwhelmingly selected Bridges from Vista for our pilot and for our adoption. The side note with Bridges, it is put together by the same publisher as the newcomer curriculum that we use, which is wonderful because teachers can now move in and out of levels, the newcomers and all the way up to our children who are ready to reclassify. It also supports well our long-term English learners, which we are really trying to shore up. In addition, they have pre-made assessments that are aligned to the LPAC that can also be modified by the teachers. It has computer-based and paper text and lessons. It's relevant for kids. It is exciting. It has, engaging topics. And provides the students multiple opportunities to engage in academic discussions. So the teachers are using it now. They are very excited about it. The students are starting to get into it. They're done with LPAC testing. They're excited to have a new curriculum. And with your approval, we will adopt for the 25-26 school year. That
You're-
is
We'll adopt after the
April
Twen-
17th meeting.
not the May 27th.
We're on for the April 17th meeting for approval.
So I'm hoping in between now and then, the board may have an opportunity to look at these materials.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And/or visit the classrooms if you'd like to see what's happening.
Well, Mr. Morales and I can't. We're in our own classrooms.
But I can definitely get you samples to
That'd
take
be
a look
great.
at.
Thank
And
you.
online access as well, so you can check it
Well,
out.
I should ask, is that something the board would like? Thank you.
Excellent. Might there be any other questions you have?
I know this is for middle school, right?
Yes,
Do they have something similar for elementary schools or?
they do.
Okay.
However, for our elementary now, that is embedded in our benchmark curriculum. And they have an updated Benchmark Express, which actually is also very much aligned with the LPAC task types and has built-in assessment. So I feel like it's a good combination.
Okay, so benchmark is for elementary schools.
Correct.
We don't use Wonder CLD?
No.
No. Thank you.
You're welcome. Might I answer any other questions?
Just for clarification, I'm sorry, Matt.
No, please.
This has been piloted?
We're in the pilot
We're
right
in
now.
the piloting right now?
Yes.
And on the committee that chose this, was it just teachers or e-learn?
It was the 2 middle school ELERTs and all of the middle school ELD teachers
Okay, thank you.
and myself.
And they'll all be here when you present the formal request or recommendation, excuse me, for adoption?
Sure.
Well, no, I'm just
Yes.
asking. They don't have to be.
If you'd like them here, they'll be
No,
here.
no,
If you're okay with me.
They may want to, I mean, that's something that you need to discuss internally, but, I'm just throwing that out.
Absolutely.
We're not approving tonight.
I guess my question was, are we, on the April meeting, we're just approving, there's no more presentation to be brought, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Trustee, wait, Trustee Phillips, you have okay, Trustee Morales, you have a light on? Thank you.
Was there any feedback from the students in the whole process?
The students are giving their feedback right now
They are.
about the
in
program they're
process of
using.
that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Dr. Castro?
Thank you so much. And at this time, it is just a part of the process for the board to be informed where we are. This is the information item. It's just basically to say where we are. And the experience that the committee has had with the program in reviewing the 3 publishers beforehand. And we can always, for any future adoptions, ensure that the board has more time in between to be able to see if they're curious. Also, between now and April 17th, as Dr. Kane said, anybody who is wanting to look at the materials, these materials have also been shared and been made available at the DLAC and through the parent engagement advisory councils as well. So these meetings that they are holding that are dated here, you can see that April 22nd and May 27th are still pending. So April 22nd will be their first time saying, okay, this is the one that we're going to be using. And then May 27th, when they're talking about it, we'll be saying, all right, let's plan for next year with this with the curriculum in hand. So that's why you'll see some committee meetings here happening after we've made that determination. It was also because you never know how these adoptions turn out. If a pilot isn't going as well as planned, then we might have to try something else. But it's turned out that they've really enjoyed the alignment between the VISTA programs with what they're already doing with the newcomers. So far, we've been very pleased at how collaborative and responsive that our teachers and our staff and our students have been to the experience. So this has, in my experience, has been actually a very positive experience so far. Thank you.
Will there be professional development in the summer for this program?
Yes,
For
we have.
whichever program is adopted, if adopted this year.
Yes, well, we have had support from the publisher already. Some of those meetings are also lined up so that we call them office hours, so they can, because as you know, as you're breaking into a new curriculum, suddenly you hit a roadblock and say, wait, I don't know which path I should use, which material, so those are in place for them. We also will use it during our summer school time, because that is our sandbox where we get to work with the children and the teachers get that coaching by the alerts working with our new materials. So they will have all the support they need for that.
Okay, and forgive me, board, for speaking for all of you, but it's generally been our norm over the years, and I know I'm talking a long time, that we see the materials before they're presented for adoption, just in case anyone has a question or has a concern about any of that. So for the future, when I'm no longer on this board, you'll remember. All right, Superintendent Castro?
Thank you, Dr. Kane. Next, we have our second interim budget update for 2024-25, Dr. Howard Ho and Ms. Monique Benjamin.
It's a sad day, Monique.
All right, good evening, Board President Coronado, honorable board members, Superintendent Castro, Cabinet, and members of the audience. My name is Howard Ho. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Business, and I am accompanied here by the great Monique Benjamin, the Director of Budgeting and Accounting. And so we're here this evening to share with everyone our second interim financials. So before we begin, I just wanted to acknowledge that it took a whole team to get to where we're at for our second interim financials for the 24-25 year. So I just want to acknowledge that all the members of the accounting department led by Monique. Also wanted to recognize Luis Diaz, our senior budget and accounting coordinator, Mary Pun, our accounting coordinator, Araceli Alvarez, Josie Fernandez, Tanya Brooks, Ivan Johnson, Eric Ramirez, and the newest member, Mariela Martinez. And all of these people played a big role in helping us get to where we're at with our second interim financial report. So tonight's recommendation to the board is to approve the second interim positive certification. Just wanted to let the board know that when it comes to approving a financial report, there are 3 different levels of certification. Lawndale will be recommending that we approve at positive. Positive certification means that the district will be able to meet its financial obligations for the current fiscal year and the subsequent 2 years. The next level of certification is qualified certification, and that means the district may not meet its financial obligations for the current fiscal year and the subsequent 2 fiscal years. And the last level of certification is a negative certification, which means the district will not be able to meet its financial obligations for the current year and the out years. And so Lawndale has had a history of positive certification, and nothing has changed for tonight's interim financial report, and the recommendation is to approve the positive certification. So for this presentation, we'll be reviewing the budget cycle, talk about key budgeting factors that are currently impacting our budget at the state level and at the local level, share about our revenues and our expenditures up until our second interim, and talk briefly about what to expect with the road ahead. So as you can see, currently, we are at the second interim financial report, which captures all of our revenues and our expenditures as of January 31st. And in the next big milestone for our budget cycle is the adoption of the LCAP, which is in April. I'm sorry, it's the budget development for the LCAP and the budget, which starts in April. The next milestone will be the governor's budget and the May revise, which comes out in May, and then the budget adoption for the 25-26 year, and the LCAP, which happens in June. And then we start the cycle all over again. So in terms of key budget factors that are impacting at the state level, as you can see, special ed cost increases. It's not unique to our district. It's happening statewide, but special ed is impacting budgets across the state. Increased pension costs for CalSTRS and CalPERS. I do want to note that CalSTRS has leveled off, and it shows that it will continue to level off for the out years, but CalPERS is continuing to increase. Declining enrollment in ADA is also impacting budget, and the uncertainty at the state and federal level with all the changes that are happening, in which we are closely monitoring. At the local level, I want to note that the COLA for this year was 1.07%, which of course, any COLA is going to help the budget, but the COLA for the 24-25 year was on the lower side at 1.07%. Declining enrollment in ADA, of course, is impacting our budget. The executive orders that the president is signing, we're monitoring that. As you guys all might have heard today, he signed an executive order to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education and continuing to monitor the district's deficit spending.
Excuse me, Doctor, do you want questions at the end, or do you want them now?
I can take them now.
So, from what I understand, and I'm not very learned on his executive orders, from what I understand, he claims that he will be returning all that money at the federal level to the states. Has the state said anything about how they might handle those monies? Has he come up with a formula? Has he said what programs could be impacted? Anything other than he is signing an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education?
At the moment, no. There's been nothing communicated at the state level. I think all districts are still waiting to hear what's going to happen.
Superintendent Castro?
So we actually just received an email from Tony Thurman during the board meeting. And it's very vague, and I will be sending out communication to our families tomorrow. I'll share that with the board tonight. But we still don't know. Everything is very unclear. Everything is very much still in the air. What we do know is that it would impact very vulnerable groups of students, but the state and our county office of ed have both put out statements saying that, we remain determined to make sure that our students are protected, and they're going to fight on a congressional level because it still needs Congress's approval to pass. But we'll keep the community informed as best we know. But this just happened maybe 20 minutes ago.
She has the red phone to Tony's office.
Okay, so this next slide highlights our district's enrollment status. And as you can see, as I've mentioned before, just like many of the other districts in LA County, we are dealing with declining enrollment. Our enrollment is declining at a rate of 2.5% year over year on average. And as you can see, in the out years, 26, 27, we are projected to hit 4,111 students. And we will continue to monitor our declining enrollment status and make sure that we are staffing according to our enrollment. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Monique, and she will talk about our revenues and key assumptions.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet members, and members of the audience. I'm very honored to be here tonight to co-present the second interim budget with Dr. Ho. As he mentioned earlier, it's a team effort, and that we develop the budget, that we put forth the budget from an accuracy and a sound standpoint. So now I will go into Lawndale's local key assumptions for revenues for our second interim budget report. So as Dr. Ho mentioned, we are still declining, and we're declining at a 2.5% rate. Therefore, our projections, our revenue, our enrollment has already been certified as of the first Wednesday in October as far as CalPADS data. So our enrollment for this year is 4324. And then you can see the estimated enrollment for the 2 out years in 25-26 and 26-27. Our average daily attendance is steadily improving. Subsequent to the pandemic, we are trending around 93%, so that's our continued projections. But we still have seen a little bit of an uptick as we compare. We just submitted our P1 attendance report, and it's about 95%. So we'll see what happens when we submit our P2 report in April. Our funding, our LCFF funding, is based on a 3-year average ADA. It's not based on prior year ADA or current year ADA, which the governor put forth a few years ago coming out of the pandemic. Our COLA is 1.07%. You see the 2 COLAs for the out years. During the governor's January proposed budget, he did change the COLA amounts for 25-26 and 26-27. So you do see a slight change from our first interim budget report. I also included just our lottery projections. Sometimes we hear a lot about lottery, what our funding levels are for lottery. So I wanted to just share that we get $273 per ADA for lottery funds. Sure, if I'm doing this. Next slide, please. So those were the key revenue assumptions, and now I'll go into details what our revenue projections are for second interim. So our local control funding formula revenues are about $62 million, and overall, the local control funding formula revenues went up about $357,000, and that's attributed to our unduplicated pupil percentage increasing, and then also, as you may know, we are serving more transitional kindergarten students. Our state revenues went up a large amount, $4, just kidding, but that's due to our mandated cost block grant. There's just a small adjustment there. And then we have our local revenues. Our local revenues increased about $337,000, and that's attributed to interest income increasing, also some Medi-Cal activities, revenue coming in, and also some other local revenue due to facility usage. I also want to point out that our contribution to restricted programs has increased. And just to identify our restricted programs, we have our special education program along with routine restricted maintenance. So that increased a little bit over $500,000. So that's the summary of our second interim revenues. Now we'll move on to our key assumptions and planning factors for our expenditures. So our step-in column ongoing costs, depending on the bargaining group, it's about 2%. As Dr. Ho mentioned, our CalSTRS pension cost has remained flat, but there is a slight uptick in our CalPERS pension. This year it's about 27%, and it's going up a little bit in the next 2 years. Our SELPA administrative unit 3% fee is also included in our expenditure assumptions. We, of course, include that in the current year, and then we also include that in the next fiscal year. But however, in the 3rd year out, the SELPA administrative unit fee is not included in our assumptions. Next slide, thank you. So now I'll go over our unrestricted expenditure For second interim, some of our changes. The board recently approved back in February a 1% ongoing salary increase for certificated staff. So that's part of our assumptions in our second interim budget. So as you can see, our expenditures increased a bit for certificated salaries along with classified salaries. Our employee benefits also increased a little bit, about almost $700,000, and that's commensurate with our salary increases, but also it includes our retirement incentive that was approved, and several members of the Lawndale staff decided to move forward with the retirement incentive. So that's part of our assumptions for our employee benefits. And then there's some other changes with our books and supplies. That also includes technology, whether it's Chromebooks, also could be student information systems, instructional software for students. And then a small increase in our services. We always look at our utility cost, all of our contracted services and our consultants. And then the contributions out, that matches our contribution out to our restricted programs, as I mentioned earlier. Next slide, please. As Dr. Ho mentioned earlier, he reviewed with the Board of Trustees and the public positive certification, a qualified certification, a negative certification. And so we're required to submit a 3-year budget, not just looking at the current year, but also looking at the 2 years out. And the projections for the revenues, again, are based on our enrollment and our ADA trends for this year. And we do have a deficit spending pattern. And that's a lot of that is due to declining enrollment and our expenditures. Things cost a lot more. So as you can see, our deficit is about 7.8 million in the current year, and it increases a bit in 25, 26. And then in the third year out in 26, 27, as I shared earlier, we do not include the SELPA AU fee, so the deficit goes up a bit. But our revenues are based on the projected COLA that the governor has put forth in his January budget. And our expenditures are based on our current expenditures and looking at all the additional costs like step and column and pension cost. Next slide, please. So now we'll go over restricted revenues. This sort of this slide breaks down our federal, state, and local revenues. So you can see, I know President Coronado asked about federal revenues. So you can see we get about $6.6 million in federal revenues. And we had a slight change over in comparison to first interim. So it went up about $45,000, and that's attributed to a one-time grant that we got for IDEA and also some additional Title I funds. Then our state revenues increased about $1.5 million. I think many of us know that we received the community school grant, and so that's part of our state revenues that you see there, and the increase of $1.5 million. Our local revenues also increased, and that represents an increase in Medi-Cal LEA funding. It also represents some other local funds that we get as part of the $494,000. And then for restricted revenues, we also recognize the contribution that we contribute from the general fund, $500,000 for special education and also for routine restricted maintenance. Next slide, please. Thank you. And so now I'll just review our expenditures on the restricted side. So our certificated salaries and classified salaries decreased a bit. The 1% salary increase is included in the certificated salaries. But when we sort of work on the second interim, we're always looking to see how our budget will land at the end of the school year. So sometimes it's an opportunity for school sites and departments to sort of reallocate their funds. And so if you look at books and supplies, you can see there's an increase there for $841,000. A lot of that is materials, supplies, books, textbooks, library books.
that the school sites will be purchasing, and also services. We have a robust after-school program. I think many of us today in the district, we had an opportunity um, to observe the invention. It was great to see all the students there with their inventions, and that's one of the partners I think that After School has to support student learning. So the $3 million represents a lion's share of after-school partners for STEM and STEAM and sports, et cetera. And then you see the contribution in from the district, from the general fund. Now I'll turn it back over to Howard and he'll discuss the road ahead.
Thank you, Monique. So as I mentioned earlier, the road ahead in regards to our budget, we will be closely monitoring the governor's May revised budget. That's in a couple of months. The federal and state economy, closely monitor our local budget and the deficit spending and try to identify some spending solutions to address that. Monitor the federal layoff situation, and monitoring the executive orders that the president is currently signing. And so all of that will impact our budget. You know, something we have not talked about is the tariffs, right? That will impact the economy as well. And so the executive orders, that's something that we're monitoring very closely at the district level. And at this point, I'd like to open it up to questions.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. Are there questions from the board?
At this time, I know there are questions probably coming down the road, Dr. Ho. And I would encourage everyone, if you do have questions, to contact Dr. Ho or Monique with your specific questions. But are there any questions right now? Trustee Morales?
No questions, sir.
Thank you. Trustee Phillips? Thank you. Trustee Burris? At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Castro.
I want to just share a few words. So earlier today, President Coronado made a comment to Miss Monique Benjamin, and she has served as the Director of Fiscal Services for 25 years in this district. So I was trying to do the quick math, and that means that you've presented to this board first interim and second interim approximately 50 times in your career here. And trying to do quick math, I don't remember when we started doing LCAP presentations, but I'm going to say that you've presented between 50 and 75 times, roughly. And that's not including all the other presentations that you do, but because this will be officially your last presentation to the Board of Education, I wanted to present you with a gift on behalf of the board and cabinet, just something really small, just to thank you for always being so full of grace, so full of knowledge, and such an amazing team member to this team, Monique. And I appreciate you so much and how you've just maintained our district where it's been financially, fiscally. We appreciate you. We're going to miss you tremendously.
Yes, absolutely.
Please.
More people in them are far more interesting in Zoom than one person. We have to be example of team.
We don't accept your. We're not accepting your. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. Thank you, Ms. Benjamin.
They can go, can't they? Not Dr. Ho, but Benjamin can go.
Directors, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. We insist.
Yeah, don't run out of here too fast.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Superintendent Castro.
We have no correspondence, and we have a quick superintendent's report. Celebrated St. Patrick's Day on Monday. Here's some pictures of the St. Patrick's Spirit Day at FDR and William Green. And we also celebrated Read Across America at multiple sites. We had guest speakers. The month of March is when we do Read Across America, aligned with Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Why did I see community servants in the pictures?
Because they were readers. They were guest
Oh,
readers.
they were guest
Yeah.
readers.
So I shared this with the board, but these are the pictures of our ESMOA leadership team meeting. We held our monthly leadership meeting at ESMOA. So we took care of some business, and then we had the opportunity to engage in activities where our leaders participated in art and just had a chance to experience all the artwork and hear the stories from the curator there. And it was great. I know that Dr. Ho planned on taking his girls that Saturday, and a lot of our principals have already booked their field trips there. So they were very happy to have us there. We were very happy in turn to have that nice break in our day, because art is so therapeutic and relaxing. So it was a very nice opportunity for all of our leadership team to experience these neighbors and partners. We have plans to continue visiting and doing some more activities with our school district there. So we've been working very closely with Jason Minter, who is the new Parks and Rec Director for the city of Lawndale. And he invited Liliana Martinez to present to the City of Lawndale's Youth Commission. So we didn't realize that this was created just by students. So when she got there, she had a full presentation ready, but she presented to students only. So she texted me that day, but it was very well received, and they want to support us in spreading the word about enrollment and increasing just the relationship and partnership between the city and the district. And of course, information about Lawndale's Community Center. So we continue to forge and nurture this partnership with the city of Lawndale. And I'm very appreciative of Ms. Martinez taking an evening out to go work with Lawndale's Youth Commission.
Too bad our council person has already gone.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just wanted to invite the board to the ribbon cutting event. It will be held this Monday from 4:30 to 5 at Will Rogers Middle School. And we look forward to it. Our architects will be providing refreshments to our guests. It'll be a small, brief event, but we want to show off our beautiful new administrative building at FDR.
Rogers.
I'm sorry, Rogers. That was a Freudian slip. Oops.
What do you know that we don't know yet?
Wishful thinking.
Good evening from the Human Resource Office. We have our March Above and Beyond recognition. We have Ms. Rodriguez for our state preschool teacher, Mr. Tellier, our school psychologist at Mitchell, and Ms. Lay as our principal from Rogers. So that was exciting to send that out, and the program has been well received this year, so we're happy to be able to acknowledge our staff. In November, the board did approve the 25-26 school calendar, and tonight, pending approval, the 26-27 school calendar is up for approval. I wanted to thank the calendar committee for doing the 2 years of the school calendar, and after pending approval, we'll be sending out the 2 years of calendar to the staff. So we're happy to be able to do that. I think the staff appreciates getting 2 years at a time from the feedback that we've heard. And then just our current employment opportunities, always encouraging those that are listening or watching to go onto our website and click on our career tab to see our current openings.
And on behalf of the business department, again, revisiting what was shared earlier, just wanted to let everyone know that as a district, we do receive some federal funds, the IDEA, Title I, Title II, Title III. At the moment, there's been no guidance in regards to how the cuts will impact federal funds, if there's going to be any cuts at all. But we will, of course, update the board as we get more information. Also, just wanted to let the board know that there will be some fire alarm testing going on during spring break. Our electricians have been working to repair some of the fire alarm systems at some of our school sites. Some of the aging fire alarm systems are over 25 years old. So this spring break, in case you guys hear any kind of fire alarms going off, it'll be because of the fire alarm testing. And last but not least, just wanted to let the board know that the irrigation project at Rogers Anderson Park will be starting April 7th. And it tentatively will be completed. The tentative date is early July. And so once they start, the park will be completely closed off to the public. And it's scheduled to start April 7th.
Thank you.
Trustee Phillips?
When you say the park, does that include the area by the community center? Or will people still have access to that?
Oh, no, they'll still have access to the wellness center. It's just the grass area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from the Educational Services Department, I just wanted to bring the board's attention to action item 8.09. There's a contract for approval with the Six Crickets platform. It's an online cloud-based platform. We're really excited to bring that to the WRAP program. It's really it's designed to simplify and support the management of our WRAP program. So what we're going to be doing through this is, whether you are an individual school site, WRAP program staff, parent, student, it allows us to be able to manage the program all in one. So we're going to be able to work on enrollment, registration, attendance tracking, reporting for the program, coordinate with our vendors, and it also will sync with our Power School student information system. So it provides some seamless articulation during the school day and after the school day. So really our purpose for partnering with them is to just simplify the logistics of planning and facilitating. And it will also provide us with some data for making programming decisions, seeing who wants to sign up for certain clubs and who isn't signing up for certain clubs. It's all going to be there for us to be able to make those decisions going forward. So we're excited to bring that contract forward. The next section here are some pictures from our afternoon today. We hosted the WRAP Kidvention Expo, where our students from their finalists from each of our sites showcased their design concepts at the district office and the PDC there. So some of the event highlights, they were pitching their innovative ideas, and they were trying to tell you that their idea was the best. It was a wonderful display of students using their presentation skills. And it's really a culmination of the Spark Invention WRAP class at each of the sites, where the students are honing their skills, not just in critical thinking and design thinking, but also teamwork and public speaking, which is so important for our students to develop. So each WRAP site held their own event, and then they had the finalists. And so today, that packed room was the finalists from each one of the groups. I also wanted to highlight that this is our second year of our partnership with Spark Reach, and it continues on in the summer. And I wanted to, because last year we were off, I wanted to bring us back to the summer because they participate in the Young Entrepreneurs National Pitch Challenge, which is a nationwide it's a pitch where they're pitching their ideas. And Green Elementary was one of the 2024 overall winners across the nation. So we are looking forward to additional winners for this year. We're going to be continuing that. So I do want to thank everybody who attended and really supporting our future leaders. And then going down to our state preschool, I'm excited to share that we're launching a new initiative at Lawndale State Preschool. It's called the Toy Loan Program. The program works just like a library, which allows preschoolers to borrow toys for a week. And it helps them to learn responsibility and to care for shared resources. So what it does is it provides access to some of our students who may not have access to some of these to play-based learning, but it also provides opportunities for them to foster that developmental skill of responsibility and taking care of something for our youngest students. So the grand opening for the program will take place on April 8th at Carson State Preschool from 3 to 4. And I know that they are looking for volunteers to support the program and the effort. So a big thanks to the Carson staff for bringing this to us, with the LA County Department of Social Services for making this program a success. So thank you. That's it.
Dr. Castro?
That concludes superintendent's report.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Just raise your hand if you want to talk. Is that you?
Just me.
Okay. Don't you
Hi,
suggest?
when will our students be on Shark Tank to present?
Watch out. Can some of those toys be educational toys? Okay, thank you.
That's basically.
Well, I was thinking stuffed toys, but I thought, no, I could go buy a little pattern game. Okay. All right. Okay, any comments, questions from the board on the superintendent's report? Okay, thank you. Anyone need a break? I know you guys will always say no. All right. Superintendent Castro?
Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of March 6, 2025.
I'll move.
A second.
On a motion by trustee Burris and a second by trustee Morales to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 6, 2025. Any changes, amendments, comments from the board?
No, ma'am.
With that, let's please vote on our devices. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you for the look, Dr. Ho. Superintendent Castro?
We have no expulsions or readmissions.
Thank you. All items appearing under the consent items, SELPA consent items, superintendent action items, and SELPA superintendent action items are adopted by one single motion unless a member of the board or the superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the agenda and voted on separately.
Thank you, President Coronado. I'm bringing forth consent items 6.03 through and including 6.19 for approval.
I'll move.
On a motion by trustee Burr, seconded by trustee Morales to approve and or ratify consent items 6.03 through and including 6.19 for approval. Comments, questions, discussion from the board on any particular item?
No, ma'am.
Does cabinet have anything they want to highlight? Okay, thank you. With that, please vote on your devices. you like a hand vote? Thank you. Okay, it doesn't appear on my screen. I understand motion carries 4-0. Okay, thank you. Just not on our screen. Thank you. Superintendent Castro?
SELPA consent items, I'm bringing forward SELPA consent item 7.03 through and including 7.04 for approval.
Move.
I'll second.
On a motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Burris, to approve and to ratify SELPA consent items 7.03 through 7.04. Comments, questions, discussion from the board? Hearing none, please vote on your devices. If you have an update, you can present it, because we have nothing. Thank you. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Superintendent Castro.
Superintendent action items, I'm bringing forward superintendent action items 8.03 through and including 8.11 for approval with the exception of 8.05 that was previously voted on.
Thank you.
Move.
On a motion by trustee Morales, seconded by trustee Phillips to approve and or ratify superintendent action items 8.03 through 8.11 with the exception of 8.05, which has already been approved. Comments, questions, discussion from the board?
No, ma'am.
Hearing none, please vote on your device. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Superintendent Castro?
I'm bringing forward SELPA superintendent action items 9.03 through and including 9.04 for approval.
I'll move.
On a motion by trustee Burris, seconded by trustee Morales to approve and to ratify SELPA. Superintendent action items 9.03 and 9.04. Comments, questions, discussion from the board?
No, ma'am.
Anything from you, Superintendent Castro? With that, please vote on your devices. I'm trying. Yes, I know, I'm very trying.
Oh.
Motion carries 4-0. Okay. We're now at board comments from the board. We will start tonight with trustee Burris.
Just want to say I enjoyed the presentation from Mitchell. I love these spotlights, as I've mentioned before. Sorry to see Monique go, but wish her the best of luck. And I have a question for the board. On the nights that we have our board meetings and we get the superintendent's report, when we get our Friday communication, basically it's the same thing. I know that it's just a matter of we get it sent to us electronically, but does anybody care that we get it the Friday after our, I'm just trying to eliminate.
Let me translate. You don't have to repeat yourselves. Because we hear it at the board meeting and then we see it in the Friday report, it probably is a lot of extra work for you to have to make sure you've included everything you had in the presentation. Am I
Yeah,
saying that?
I'm just saying, I'm not sure how it all comes together for the Friday communication, but unless there's something new that wasn't presented at the board meeting, I don't need it again on Friday. So it would only be on the Fridays where we didn't have a board meeting, is all I'm asking, if it was something that you guys would be interested. If it doesn't matter to you, I don't know. I was just trying to eliminate some work on their end. Just a question. Think about it.
Anyone have any other thoughts or feelings about it?
I think it's between the cabinet and the superintendent. An internal decision.
Okay, so,
I feel the same way.
all right, so you can talk to your elbow partners and figure it out.
So we'll share communication with the board if it's new.
New or on the Fridays that we don't have a board meeting.
Or reminders.
Or
Right.
what?
Reminders.
Yes, that would be fine. That's what I would, I'm just saying, I think it would be easier. I don't know.
Okay, well, you've been given direction. It's up to you. Okay, very clear. Thank you. Trustee Phillips? I'm sorry, were you?
It's trustee Phillips. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I was able to go to Ledge Action Week. It was all virtual this year, again, with the state. I wish it were up in Sacramento, but it's not, and this is the best we can do right now. I do want to thank Jose Ochoa, who's in the audience right now. He's the representative for Senator Laura Richardson, because we were about 10 or 15 minutes into the Zoom and no one was on there for us. So I called him right away and he reminded me to call Sacramento, that there was someone up there in Sacramento. So I met with staff up at Sacramento. He's looking at me because he doesn't remember talking to me. So I'm just gonna briefly go over some of the things that we discussed. One was the protection of Proposition 98. Somehow Sacramento thinks that's the ceiling. We know that that was supposed to be the floor of how much money we receive under Proposition 98. Also, they are doing another withholding from education. This year's $1.6 billion. I reminded them, I said, our CBOs, thank you, Dr. Ho. I go, they work very hard on doing a budget based on this formula. I said, they know how to do it on enrollment and on the cost of living. And I said, they do all this, and then someone in Sacramento pulls out $1.6 billion, and that's just not fair. It's just like getting a paycheck and all of a sudden it's 10% off or something. And so they did listen to us on that. So we want to be fully funded for the COLA, and we also want to make sure that the student support and professional discretionary block grant is fully discretional. It's up to us how we're going to spend that grant money. AB 218 was really discussed quite a bit. I don't think we've discussed it here too much, but just as a reminder, that's taking off any time reference as far as sexual abuse of children. So it's now open. Some parents are going back, or some people are going back 50 years on these allegations, and the perpetrators are already dead. One of our school districts to the west of us, and you know they're very small districts, $1.2 million in one case. So it's really affecting us on the dollar side. I don't think this was meant for schools. So we're really urging that Sacramento gets a separate fund from this, that if we have to pay for this, it's not going to come out of our general funds and not out of our Proposition 98 guarantee. Oh, and we get to cover the cost of any legal expenses. So very strong on that one. I heard it was $1.2 million for each case. It really hit hard. LA Unified is going to get hit hard with it too. They have a few cases, quite a few. Wait, let me get my notes. I highlighted this time. Okay, that's 218, sorry. There are a couple that don't affect us. The AB 1021 and 1381, which were both authored by Mirad Suchi, who we know from the Torrance area. The Educational Workforce Housing Legislative Package. We don't have, at this time, housing for our employees. LA Unified does. They have a whole community right next door to Gardena High School. It's not full right now, but they're planning to put up a few more housing, workforce housing for their employees. AB 1111 doesn't affect us either, but the schools were required to have electric buses by this year. They haven't been able to do it because of the cost and because of availability. So they're asking to have a 10-year extension on this so that they don't have to do it until 2035. AB 1224, I'm going to look at Dr. Cooper on this one. They are proposing to support 1224 to extend the 30-day limit on substitute teachers to 60 days. One is because of the shortage of teachers and trying to get substitute teachers in there. But as I pointed out, this is very difficult on children, especially younger children, that every 30 days they get a new substitute because someone's out on long-term disability or something. So they're trying to push that through to get 60 days instead of 30 days on substitute teachers. And then Senate Bill 494 would require an administrative law judge to serve in the place of a duly elected school district or county board of education when determining the outcome of a classified staff suspension, demotion, or termination disciplinary appeal. This is what we're asking for a big no vote on. We said that's up to us. We already have processes in place to take care of any disciplinary actions for our classified employees. So we're really urging a no vote on that. And I would tell you that when we met with Assemblyperson Tina McKinnon or McKinner,
McKenna.
thank you, and Senator Laura Richardson, sorry, it was only a representative from LA Unified School District who has the area up to the 405, up to the 105 freeway. She's got the San Pedro area, and myself on a Zoom meeting, along with Sarah Bradshaw, our PACE person from CSBA. So there were two of us, and they were getting it from us really hard. When I went on for Elmira Chuchi and Ben Allen, who represent the east side of Prairie, so it'd be Mark Twain and Roosevelt School, it was full, mainly because that also reaches our beach cities. So we had a lot of districts on that one because of those smaller districts there are really getting hit hard with the economy right now. It's really sad to see. And that's all that I have to report on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Morales?
Thank you. I want to thank all the school librarians, want to congratulate them for the job they do every day with our students. Seems like, the libraries are fading out because of the digital world, but they're keeping it alive and happy, and I'm sure that students, every time they have the opportunity to go there, they're happy, But the people that work there, that take care of the libraries are the ones that make a difference. So thank you. I also want to thank all the above and beyond awardees. I think this is a well-received award for all the hard work they do. And I know that we are around the corner from our spring break. What is it, a week? 1 week, and so I want all the staff and students to enjoy their break, relax, recharge, have fun, and just be safe out there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else before I speak? Going once, going twice, done. Okay. I want to thank the Mitchell staff for presenting the board with shirts. We'll make sure that Trustee Rudolph gets her shirt. While I know having the schools come do their highlights is nice, it doesn't preclude any board member to visit a school. My Easter vacation is a week different or 2 weeks different than what we have here in Lawndale. And depending on what my schedule is, I may call the district office and speak to Superintendent Castro or Dr. Pamilia and say, please let the school know that tomorrow between the hours of 9 and something, I might be visiting, and I don't need a lot of help. They can hand me a map and ask me to visit a particular class if they like, but I think I could probably manage visiting classroom or schools by myself, unless you want to join me. Oh, okay. She'll join me. Um, school visits, Easter vacation. And I know I've spoken to Dr. Castro about the list, the wish list, I called it, for the potential bond. And I appreciated being referred back to the August presentation, but I have to tell you, I need more detail. So I spoke to Dr. Castro about this, and I said, and I know it's, and never mind. Anyway, maybe we could schedule a walking field trip with the board and parties that need to be there. Maybe starting with Mitchell. I noticed that most of the requests for the monies for the schools ranges anywhere from 5 to 4 million. So I did pay attention to that, but saying upgrading facilities didn't do a whole lot for me. I need to touch, I need to see, I need to feel. Because at my school, I could tell you specifically what I think we need, and it could be completely different than what other people might think, but I'm looking at it from a teacher's perspective. And maybe teachers would want to give us some input on that. You know, they're the ones who live and breathe in those buildings. And the last thing I would like to say, I think, I'm not sure, is we're having all this safety stuff for our teachers and our classified staff, which I think is wonderful. This board can tell you that I'm always thinking about safety things. And I just wonder, Dr. Ho, what would we do in a board meeting if there was a fire, if there was an earthquake, if there was something dangerous happening in the lobby? How would you plan to evacuate us and yourselves in a timely and efficient way? Just something to think about and to keep you awake at night when you can't sleep. You're welcome. It's my gift to you. All right, is there anything else to come before this board? With that, we will adjourn the regular meeting of the Lawndale Elementary School Board at 7:12.